Hello everybody, this is Sci-Fi Junket again on this lovely, wonderful Tuesday afternoon. I will be making a number of videos today, and this is going to be the first one. Now, as you guys very well know, or don't know, depending on if you actually kept up with my channel or not, that I am a full-time family primary caregiver to my mother. And I think we finally got everything going to where everything needs to be going, and that she understands that all the money that she gets is hers and not mine, and I have no say in it and all that. So I finally am getting to the point where I want to make my own money. Or I should say funds. I don't call it money anymore because it's pretty much just worthless paper that government decides to control us with. But anyway, I'm going to digress on that whole subject. If you kept up with the news, I want to say roughly a couple months ago here in Oklahoma, there happens to be a lovely business pretty much made a contest out of, they pretty much made a contest so that if you want a business, because, well, they don't want their business anymore, and instead of selling it to somebody, they've made a gigantic contest of who wants to write the best essay. Normally, it would, it's normally, people would just buy the business and be done with it. This being an unorthodox kind of way of letting somebody else own the business, I actually decided to look into it. Now, I did, let me switch over to another monitor here. Now, here's the lovely, wonderful business. They have been, as you can all see, they actually have a number of menus full-time. They actually, and this is right here, what just happened is, if I was a customer having to wait for my page to load up, see, as you get, put it this way, I can go to YouTube and it loads up just fine. You can see it propagate and everything. But when you go to this website, it literally just hangs for a good 3 or 4 seconds. So I figured, well, maybe they had some errors in their lovely, wonderful stuff, and so I let it go. Now, as you can very well tell, they have a full menu and catering menu, which they apparently had plans on doing, but since they're trying to let somebody else own the business now, it would be passed on to the new owners if they so graciously give it to new owners. So in a way, they're like, in my opinion, they were doing the whole president shiftaroo of, I'm guessing they didn't want to do this, so they're giving it to somebody else, despite the claims that they have, 3 other businesses. They have a number of kids. They have a lot of things going on in their lives. I understand there's a lot of things going on in everybody's lives. I mean, after all, I'm a caregiver. I'm doing 5 jobs as one person. So I understand that. And so you can go ahead and you can dig in here. Again, the freaking, I'm going to guess it's a 5-second delay on page loading. When I went to business school, that was a big no-no. If it took more than 2 seconds to load a webpage, back when I was going to OSU Omogi, and actually back when I was going to college, period. And I went to 3 or 4 colleges trying to get my associate's degree. That's a big no-no on the business end. So, as you can very well tell, it literally takes forever for it to load. So I went ahead and I did what any other IT guy would simply do when it comes to code and looks at their HTML code. Except for it's kind of wonky. For one, when you put this in a validator, granted the validator at W3 Schools, if you go ahead and put this web page in here, you're going to notice a couple things. This is a brand new validator for them that they've had to put together because of things, and you'll notice there's a lot of errors in the page, which leads me to believe that either one, that the validator is catching a lot of stuff that is not necessarily supposed to be catching, or two, this part right here is part of the problem. Now, you could potentially do a lot of this stuff that's going on this website with maybe HTML5. They really do not need the compatibility, because the Microsoft did a pretty good job with Edge to make it more adaptable to because I personally code in XHTML1 traditional for the Wetumpka Housing Authority. So I don't know what they are doing. Maybe they decided to use, I don't know, maybe WordPress or something that they could put together and call it done. Now, as you very well see, other than that, it looks pretty good. So I proceeded to ask the, which I presumed was the email address of the owner, a number of questions. The first question was, why is the Twitter account for the business suspended? Now, the reason why I asked that question is because it's suspended. I, as a potential contestant that may win this lovely, wonderful business, would like to know why. Is it because Twitter doesn't like them? Is it because they put something on there that broke terms of service? I mean, yeah. So, the second question was, there was a person that made a Yelp review. Let's see, what is it? Let me see if I can find them. Yeah, this one. As you very well see, he's made his first review was a 2-star review saying everything was overpriced and he could probably do better than the business. And then sometime the month after, he changes his tune, gives it a 4-star review instead of a 2-star review. Now, this guy says he's in Shroud, so I don't know, maybe they contacted him or what. I actually asked him what was the point, or why did he change the person's review. Did they, assuming they either got paid off or something, but I didn't get an answer back on that one either. The third question was, what have you done to fix the problems with, let's see if I can find her. This one. Apparently, this person had a very negative review, just like the first one I brought up, and said it wouldn't last within, it's got 6 more months to live as a business. Yeah, mind you, this is the January 25th of this year when this review was made. Again, from somebody, Sand Springs, Oklahoma. I did not get a answer back on that. The fourth question was simply, as you can see, they had the way the website was coded. I asked him why were they using this. More specifically, this period, the whole thing, when the Chrome part of it is not even supported by Google anymore. Google has nothing to do with that anymore. They haven't even kept up with it. That has been retired since 2014. This business is supposed to be 4 years old. So let's see. That would make it 9876. 2015, 2016. So they were already using retired framework from Google. I then asked them specifically if they ever did any charity drives, like Extra Life, St. Jude or something like that. Because as you will see, there's nothing here saying anything about being part of any kind of charity work whatsoever. And me being a potential contestant and business owner, if I happen to win it, would like to know that. Now, I already showed you the Yelp, but if you go into Travel Advisor, you'll note that there are some that are actually they done away with some of them. There was a bad review in here that was a two star or two whatever it is, and it doesn't seem to be even here anymore. But there is one where it says friendly staff, but slowly losing steam. So apparently they do not give breaks the way this reads. I mean, maybe I'm misreading this. Now, you could even go to their Instagram and you'll see that instead of the business, like what this shows as, instead of that, as their business logo, you'll see a drink, or you'll see whatever the first image is. Now, I'm not sure if that is a Instagram thing. I don't have Instagram. Don't plan on having Instagram because, Twitter and Facebook is good enough for me for right now. But as you can very well see, oh, now it starts to get into food. See, for a while there, it was people. It was not food or anything like that. So they've recently changed that. And you can see that they've actually have, Visa, Master, Express, Discover, Cash, and checks. So that's 4 majors and then the usuals. But I actually emailed those questions. Oh, and another thing, I actually, where is it? Where is that question there? Let's see, menu. I believe it was a order now. Let's see, where is it? Let's go like we're going to order something. Yeah, it's. Oh, jeez. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, order from this location. That again implies that they had plans to expand. They had plans to not only be where they're at, but to be somewhere else. And I asked them, did they actually have plans, or was this instead of order now, or instead of saying, order from this location, they could have went with order now, or click here to order, or your order, or something along that line is not order from this location. I actually asked why was there, another one was why did they have only 5 items in their menu. That was more like were they thinking that people weren't going to bring their kids, so they decided to not have that many items, because they do only have 5 items. I would have went with at least 8 or 9 items on here. Maybe like a kid size pizza or whatever, or some things that kids generally like to have, chicken nuggets and all that crap that kids like, and maybe a fruit and salad option, which probably will never get ordered, but I'd still have it on there. But I actually emailed those questions to what I was hoping, or what I thought was the owner, and well, I didn't get anything back. In fact, I even followed it up with I'm only asking these questions due to needing to know what I'm getting myself into before I borrow the required $100, because they require $100 before you could actually be part of this contest. Let's see. In fact, I told them that I could in fact write a number of pages on all these problems that I'm finding. More specifically, this problem here about their account being suspended. That alone, I could write a whole paragraph on. And then I told them that it's more than 2 paragraphs for an essay. That is my mistake. I really didn't read the rules, because if you go not to Twitter, if you go into their Facebook, the first thing you'll see is them pinning the contest with a little video. That's the owner. I'm not going to play the video. You go to their Facebook and you play that yourself. That's not about this video. The video is about this contest and actually emailing the current owner, questions that they conveniently decided not to answer. And as you very well see, it says, it gives a whole thing about the prize and how long the essay is and their history and all that. But as you will see, there's this big, gigantic blank space. Again, now if you go into the source code on this, you'll see that it's got a number of things that really shouldn't be there. And then when you go all the way down to the bottom, no footer. Body in HTML embed start and stops, which means they're using some sort of something to make these lovely, wonderful pages. Again, I don't know if it may be WordPress, and the WordPress that they're using is kind of outdated or something, but this is, in my eyes, an IT guy nightmare trying to look at this lovely, wonderful page. Again, you can go to prizes. Now, this page, the contest site loads up pretty quick. It's pretty snappy. It actually loads pretty freaking quick. So it's not the point of that, but the point of it is, again, they're using the same compatibility thing, but they made it specifically for Edge. Same thing. This very thing that they could be actually using, HTML5. Again, using HTML5 could solve some of these problems. But no, they decided to not use that whatsoever, which makes no sense to me. But anyway, as you can really see that they're, how busy they are, and all this lovely, wonderful stuff. And again, the freaking gigantic, lovely, wonderful empty space there. But when you go into terms and conditions, this is where it starts to get a little weird, because this is the terms and conditions of the contest. Some of it actually looks, pretty decent, until you go all the way down here where it starts to give you the technical aspects of what they want on the paragraph, or in the requirements for the. And this right here shall consist of introduction paragraph, body, and summary paragraph. Now, I don't mean to be a grammar Nazi, but that's what made me think that it was only 2 paragraphs, because I saw introduction paragraph, body, and summary paragraph. Now, I don't mean, like I said, I don't mean to be a grammar Nazi. I'm wholeheartedly not a grammar Nazi. But if I was trying to write a paper for, term paper for school or anything like that, that sentence right there would have cost me points. Not itty bitty tiny points, I mean major points. Because there is no commas, there's no, all this other stuff. So some of these rules, believe it or not, are pretty straightforward once you read them, once you sit down. Matter of fact, it took me 3 or 4 times to just try to figure out what all that meant. And it shouldn't have to take me 3 or 4 times to figure out what that meant, until after kicking in the paragraphs where they need to be go, and then actually add, because it in my opinion, should be introduction paragraph, body paragraph, and a summary paragraph, but it doesn't. It's not written that way. Double space. So what they're really wanting is a paper. They're not wanting an essay. They're wanting an actual paper, like it's written in an actual college thing. Except for they want it anywhere from no less than 300 words and no more than 1,000 words, which in a normal essay in today's standards is well more than well beyond that. In fact, I'm going to take guesses that they want it in either MLA or APA format. But they don't require sources because they just want to know what what the person that's writing the paper wants to do with the business. Now, another thing that they didn't say is that if there's less than 3,000 entries, then the cash prize is not going to happen. Mind you, I'm a guy that would want the business, not the money, because if I was going after the money, I wouldn't be making this lovely video. Because I can make money myself eventually someday. In fact, I actually am crypto mining right now, which is going to lead in some money later. I would much rather have the business. This is the reason why I actually sent the email to the business owner asking these specific questions. These were not general questions, these were specific questions. So, the whole idea of putting the whole freaking giving money away, if if it doesn't make 3,000 entries, they'll be lucky. In my opinion, they will be lucky if they make even 100 entries. 3,000 is a bit much, especially by the time I seen the lovely, wonderful video. During the time that they're supposed to have made it, is they only had a couple. Of course, that was a couple years ago. At least I think it was a couple years ago. I'm not for sure. The point is that this has been going on for quite a while. maybe 6 months or something like that. A couple weeks ago or something like that. Now, I don't like to say bad things about people, but when you get, rules the way these are written, website the way this acts, because if you hit reload, it takes a good solid 5 seconds, and you're not seeing anything come up. You're just seeing the background, and then all of a sudden it just pops like that after 5 seconds. Now, since I didn't personally get a reply back from this lovely, wonderful business, I'm only going to hope that the people that happen to go into this contest that actually make this, say, that follow the rules, however weirded out they're written, if they make it and all that stuff, I hope they do good. And for those that don't make it or get the cash prize instead of the business, just use that money that you get into investing into something like cryptocurrency, or maybe, well, actually cryptocurrency might not be exactly the good thing to invest in, but it'd be something. Again, I really don't like to say bad things about people, but when you see as many problems that I see with the website, the reviews, and I don't even have money to buy anything off their menu anyway, so I can't really be for sure to say how bad or good their service is or how bad or good their food is, because I am, well, that poor. And but after reading the reviews, it kind of makes me wonder how the place is actually running, and what is actually being done to make the people that leave bad reviews to turn around and make good reviews later, or update their reviews later. Because that really makes me kind of wonder what happened behind the scenes or whatever. But again, maybe one day I'll be able to go down there and see how good their food is and make an apology video, because right now, as it stands, this contest seems kind of off, in my opinion. Because the first thing I would be doing would be redoing the entire website from scratch. Maybe use like HTML5 traditional or whatever, and a couple things in the menu, fix all the problems that I've seen, try to figure out what happened to Twitter. But until I get a reply to this email that I sent the owner, there is really no point in me even trying. Because you'll even find a video about them talking about, well, you won't know until you try. Well, after doing my research on the lovely business, I don't even think I even want to try. So, again, I know right now I'm sounding like a broken record, but I really don't like to talk bad about people, because it's that people's talked bad about me all the time, and then I prove them wrong, and then they say, oh well, you're lucky because of this and that and everything else. And it's the same. That's pretty much how I feel, that if I start talking bad about people that, one, I never met, just based on a video on their Facebook, and two, just based on reviews and the way the coding of the website and everything, it kind of grinds my gears about the website. It kind of sets me off about the reviews, this and that and everything else. So hopefully they are a much better person than their website is. Much better person than what the people are leaving reviews are. Then much better person than they're even making themselves out to be. Because right now, this business is I didn't say it, but it's on Route 66. It's on a historical road. You would think a lot of people would want to stop at this business. You would think that a lot of people would probably leave a pretty good review, and there's hardly any reviews on it for the last 4 years that it's been there. 4 years. 4 years that it's been opened to have just that many reviews. It's like, what are they hiding in a freaking wall somewhere? You can fairly see in their Facebook page that they're not hiding away. They're actually on the freaking Route 66 road. Anyway, that's really just my take on this contest, my take on this business, my take on the coding of the website. All of it is it's not put together very good for the the website and all. The website for the contest is not put together right. The website for the business itself is not put together right. It's driving me nuts when I go to their website just to see it take at least 5 seconds for the rest of it to pop up and catch up with itself. So anyway, before I get into any more rambling about this business and how their website drives me nuts and all this other stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and call that the end of this video. I'm sure the people that work there, the business owner that works there, are pretty great people. It's just first impressions mean everything, and the website, the way it is, it's not giving me a very good impression toward the people there. It's not giving me a very good impression of the owner, and that goes for the reviews too. That goes for the Instagram. Again, I don't know how Instagram works because I don't have one and don't plan on having one. But if that's how it works, where it takes the first picture and make it a freaking logo, then they need to figure out how to make it where their profile picture is something different than that. Because that's not giving me a very good impression either. See in business school, or not business school, but in some of the business classes that I've taken, granted, I have an actual IT degree. I have associates in applied science and information technology. And I was required to take some business classes so I could actually, know how to talk to business people. And between my business classes and the rest of my IT degree, that has all the IT classes and everything, first impressions mean everything. But first impressions are a two-way street. So and that goes for like interviews. If you're the person getting interviewed and you're not getting a very good first impression of the person you're working for, you're not going to give a very good interview because you're going to not feel like you belong there because they're not giving you the same impression as you are to wanting to be there when you first went into the door, first got ready for the interview and all that stuff. So first impressions mean a lot, and then it goes for everything. So with that being said, and again, I do sincerely apologize for this being a rambling video. It was not intended to be a rambling video. It was more of this is my take on this contest, this is my take on this business, and this is my pretty much my impressions of the business and potentially the people working there, potentially the owner. With that being said, if you actually made it to this into this video, thank you. If you didn't, well, I sincerely apologize. It ended up being a rambling video, but that's pretty much what my videos in this format actually end up being. And with that being said, don't have too much fun, and yeah, that'd be it.